Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video, I already discussed about that things with you, how can successfully reply that post comments, and here there is option for the replied, and when you replied it, then it should be redirected to a comments page and also showing as author name. Okay, so that is actually the post and that is actually the comments. And for the post comment here, I define one of the value as a status. Like here you can see I just define that status value as a 0. So when it should be the 0, then it should be the unpublished, and when it should be the 1, then it should be the published. Okay. So now they have also one of the option for the status. So right now I want to work on particular that position. So if you want to click on the publish, then this comment status will be updated 0 to 1, and then it should be displayed in our front end page. So how can do that work? For doing this, first of all, we have to create one of the method as a status. Like that is the things I said in our comment list page. So if you go to that our comment list page, and here you can see that is actually the method as a put method, and here I already assigned one of the URL as a back and the comments and the status, and also it should be updated with this ID. So by default, when you inserted that comments data, you see status will be the 0. Okay, so here when it should be equal 1, then it should be showing that unpublished button, either then it should be showing as a published button. So now first of all we have to create this status method in our comment, that is the comment controller. So on particular that position I want to create that method. Okay, so that type of method I already created in our maybe the post controller. Like if you go to the post controller, and here I already discussed about that type of things. Like you can see that the status. So better the same things. I just copy whole things from here, that from the post controller, and then I just paste on particular that position. So now there is a function, and the method is a status method, and also here I define that ID. So now it should be actually comment. I just define that comment, and now also there is a model, so it should be the comment model. Okay, comment model, and find that ID, and then the comment that is status, that is a comment that is status will be the actually 1 to 0, and again the if you want to change it, it will be redirected to that 1 again, and after that comment will be the save, and after the save it should be redirected to our page. So here I already in our store, after the save it should be redirected to all these pages. So for now I just copy whole things from here, and I just paste on particular that position. Okay, so now there is a return redact with this route the comment list page. That means it should be redirected to our comment list page, and with this ID, and also here I want to define all of the success message. So this message will be like as a comment. So I just define a status change. Okay, change successfully. So this type of message will be visible. So now we have to create this route. So here I already defined one of the route as a back and the comment and then the status. So now if you go to that our route area, so before we did this type of, like there is a post route, okay, post status, and you can see there is the put method. So I just copy it, and here I paste on particular that position. So now that is put method, as I told you. Here you can see there is a method as a put for the reasons, because it should be updated the status value data. For the reasons I just defining it, and here it will be actually comment. Okay, comment, and then status, and then our ID. So I just defining it, and then our admin, and then controller. So that is right now I work with our comment controller, and into the comment controller I already created that method, that means the status method, right? Like here if you go to that position, here you can see I just defined that status method, and then also there is the name. So name will be the as a comment. Okay, like as a comment status it should be the name, and also there is a middleware and the permission. So right now I am not actually working with the permissions, so I will do that things later. I already discussed about that things. I hope you can well understand about it. Here you have to create one of the permission for viewing that page, that means the comment status. So right now I just make the things as a all. So all is for the admin, so admin can actually use all that URL. So here I just create that route. So that is actually comment status with the ID. So here I just defined as a comment status with the ID, and in our controller there is a method. So I already created that method, and here I just update it. So it's perfect. Now let's check this out. I just click on the save all, and now here I just refresh that page. So now I just want to publish this comment. Okay, so like they have option for the published. So now I just click on the published. So now here it's showing as a undefined variable request on particular that position request. You can see that should be actually comments. So here in our controller that is status, so that will be actually comments. So that will be actually comments. So I just copy it, and now with this comment that is actually the post ID. Okay. So now I just click on the save all, and now click on the go back, and now click on the refresh. Yes, you can see now this status has become changed. So if you want to change it again, yeah, the comment status changed successfully. So change it again, published. Now it's actually published. And also there is another one, published it. Yes, you can see there's a comment status changed successfully. So I hope you can well understand about it. It's perfectly now work on particular that position. And if you go to the post, and here you can see that's actually not looking good. So better I just want to put some of the white for every field, like that is our post list page. So if you go to that post list, like here, that is our post, and then that is our post list page. And into the post list, here I just define some of the style sheet better, like for the images. Okay, for the images title, that is the author, the view total. So for the view total here, for this one, that is actually the view total. So here that is actually the TD. Okay, so view count. So here I just define on the style, and in particular that position I just define the wide, and I just define wide as a like 5%. Okay, so here I just define as a 5% for this one. And also I just copied, and for the title, like there is actually the title, for the title author. So for the author I also want to defining it, like here if you go to that name, that means the creator author name. So here I also define that as a 5%. Now let's check this out. Click on the save all, and if you now refresh it, okay, so now you can see it's now become small sizes. And also that is for the title. So better I just define some of the things for this position as a 5%. And for the title, that means for the title here I just define the style as a 10% for this one. Okay, so now let's check this out, the 10%. And now if you click on the refresh, yeah, now it's looking good. So now that is our one, the images, the titles, author, the total view, and then status, the hot news, and the options. So if you want to comments with this one, so like they have option for the comments. So there is an option for this comments. If you want to add some of the reply, like here I want to reply with this one, I get hello Ariyan. Okay, so I just define one kinds of comments on particular that area. And now if you click on the submit, yeah, comments replied successfully. So here after that comments reply, here you can see it's now showing us on here for this post name. So that is display hello Ariyan. And also if you want to publish it, this update that status, if you click on here, then status will be the updated, and now it's becoming unpublished. Okay, so also if you go to the database, and if you now click on the browse, now you see this status by default assigned as a 0. So right now I just updated with the 0 to 1. Okay, because in our controller when I actually save that data, that means the comments data, I define that status as 0. So I think it should be very much clear to you how the things exactly I did on particular that position. So in our next video, I will show you about the another things, like how can dynamically update your all the admin panel details, like that is our logo, how can dynamically update that logo, how can dynamically update it, all that functions on particular that area. So step by step, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.